Welcome back, everybody. It's the second week of class. This week we've got an exciting matchup between Legend Spartans and Zenigma. I am Professor Tiger. I'm joined once again by our janitor, Miles David.
Yeah, I'm just subbing in for the actual guy who never shows up. But don't worry, we're here. We're ready. It's gonna be an exciting match between these two teams. Both have won a preseason tournament that we've held here in Runeterra Academy. So, it should be a good matchup between them.
Yep, and of course we're looking at a civil war here. We've got two House Mountain teams, so a rough start last week for both of these teams, but they'll be looking to take on their brethren here to see who can get back on the right track.
Yep, definitely. You want to have a good record. Also, you want those bragging points, right? To have over the others. It is going to be a civil war, so Mountain win regardless. So congrats to you guys, Mountains. You get 1 point for this best of 3. We'll see who will be able to take the title home here between the Zenigma and Legends. 1 second, Legends Spartan. There we go. Okay, we have Legends on the blue side with Zenigma on the red side. We'll see with the draft underway who's picking who, and Gwen was left open, so it looks like Legend Spartans are hovering it. They should be probably happy to pick this one up. Gwen is a very strong champion, as we've seen before in the Runeterra Academy tournaments. To those who've watched Tendies, I'm sure you've seen his highlights in the pre-roll.
Absolutely. And for the last day or so, Dazik has played several games of Gwen, so definitely prepping that for today. And I think a solid pick, so that definitely going to tell me most likely top lane Gwen. I think that's the strongest position that see Gwen in. Maybe potentially you flex it to mid depending on the matchup, but I think that we're likely to see this in the top lane. Going to be responded to here by the Karma, so we'll see which direction that Karma is going and if that's going to be an answer to Gwen. We've seen Karma top before, definitely can hold her own in lane, but I think that support definitely where I look first when it comes to Karma.
Yeah, but instead they're picking the Senna, so immediately picking that one up. So Senna Karma bot could be a thing. Karma could be the one farming and Senna could be the one fasting. We'll have to see. This Karma is still a flex pick. Could go mid. We've seen a lot of Karma Xin Xiao combinations in pro play. Maybe Zenigma will want to do something similar. And looks like Legend Spartans will be going for the Tristana, which also is a flex pick. Could be going mid lane, could be going bot lane. We'll have to see. They are locking it in. So very dive heavy already coming in from Legend Spartan. We'll see if they follow that certain theme. If they do, they'll possibly have a hard time against this Karma Senna, who can, eventually in the late game, it just might be so hard to dive them.
Yeah, absolutely. You get a lot of healing out of the Senna. Shields coming through from the Karma. So a lot of supportive picks in the... Yeah, of course, don't forget the speed ups. But in the early stages of this, we're seeing a lot of carry picks for Legend Spartans and Zenigma going more towards supportive picks. You did mention the Xin Zhao, so I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see that picked up here for Zenigma, especially given that they're looking more towards supportive champs in lanes. Obviously, Karma and Senna not jungle picks, and there it is if they log it in. We're going to see the Xin Zhao here, maybe trying to carry through that jungle position.
Yep, there we go. The Xin Zhao was locked in. We've seen a lot of teams go for this combo. I'm assuming because the Xin Zhao locked in, that will be a Karma mid. Could still go to the top lane going against the Gwen, but usually I see it in mid lane where Karma can easily follow Xin Zhao around the map, buff them up so that you can go for those early invades, early fights, early skirmishes in the early game, specifically around the scuttles, around the enemy jungle, and we'll see how well Zen is able to do good with that. Meanwhile, they're banning the Poppy. Makes sense, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
If Xin Zhao likes to dash in, and if Poppy denies that, well, that's a lot of the engage completely denied. Definitely makes sense.
Yep.
Possibly, maybe if they're going towards that team, maybe they're gonna ban away the. No, wait, they already picked their support, so never mind. They're probably not gonna ban the Braum. Instead, they'll see what other disengage stuff you can see. Maybe a Gragas ban also. And looks like Legend Spartan.
Something like that.
Moving LeBlanc. It's French, right? So LeBlanc
Yeah, of
Could
course.
still be at the Karma top, so just removing the possibility of LeBlanc, which I think does have a decent matchup into the Gwen. If that Gwen is going mid lane, we'll see. Riven banned too. Now I've heard from some NA coaches, of course, that Riven has a very decent matchup into the Gwen. So making sure that their top laner will have priority, will have a smooth laning phase, hopefully.
Mhm.
Chain getting taken out as well.
Yep, and I think that maybe we'll have to find who is the French teacher here to tell us more about the pronunciation. But with all of that out of the way, going into the second phase of the draft, I think that we're going to need to see a little bit more engage for Zenigma. You don't want to just have one engage threat, and then if that's taken out, you have no way in. But Malphite definitely going to be that. So.
Yeah, you're talking about. There you go, top lane Malphite. Now Malphite will have a bit of trouble against the Gwen, who should have priority in the top lane. But your Malphite, you don't really need to win lane. You just need to survive, be around 10, maybe even 15 CS down, and then show up for the team fights. Press the R button and you should be fine. So, top lane going on weak side, and we'll see. I'm primarily, despite we were talking about this during the pregame, that the ADCs are the highest rated players for both teams. So I was gonna be looking to see the ADCs battle it out. But with Blue Vapor on the Senna, it looks like it's gonna be the mid jungle who's gonna have the action on the side of Zenigma.
Yeah, and if this Viego flash is true, then that's just like 4 super carry champs and an Alistar for Legend Spartans. I'm not going to believe it until I see it, but Hecarim definitely more flexible as his role in the team comp. You can see him definitely just being like an engage sort of bruiser situation where you're just trying to dive the tower and pick up the aggro and let the rest of your team take him out. So I like the Hecarim pick here. They definitely have potential to team fight, but Legend Spartans definitely looking for some solo carries, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them go into something like a 4-1, even potentially a 1-3-1 with the Silas. That's definitely possible. And Zenigma starting to find even more engage, meaning that they are in the full Deathball 5-man group comp.
Hold up, that's a Wukong. So who's going top lane? Is it Wukong? So is this a Malphite support mid with the Senna?
Oh, could be I guess. It could be Karma support.
We'll see in the draft, I guess, before we go into Spectator League, just to see where the position really is. Enough of the flexing, guys. We see the muscles. You get it? You guys have a big champion pool. All right, let's see where everyone will go, and we will be going into Champ Select shortly. In fact, we are going there now. Hopefully see the full position. But looking at these team comps, Professor Tiger, we kind of have an idea of what these two teams want to accomplish in the early game. I'd say that, definitely there is priority there in the top lane for Legend Spartan with Gwen. So maybe they're going to be looking to dive that top lane maybe as a 3-man unit in the top side with the Silas and the Hecarim. Meanwhile, Zenigma, the top lane kind of wants to play safe, I'd have to say, and then scale up for those big team fights that will happen later in the game over the Dragons, maybe the Rift Herald. We'll see how the two teams are able to pull off their respective win conditions, of course. If Xingqiao manages to get into the backline, he can just cause so much chaos.
Yeah, and what my eyes are on here actually is the bot lane matchup, because the Alistar definitely brings a little bit of kill threat into that lane. So the 2v2 going to be a big threat from the side of Legend Spartans. And on the other side, Zenigma having the Senna Karma, they're looking to try to get some long-range poke off and then be able to sustain whatever damage they take. So definitely going to be gankable from both sides. Like if Karma's able to land a root, Alistar doesn't have any way out. He's very good at engaging, but not so much at disengaging unless he's got his headbutt available. So anytime that Alistar goes too far forward, then Karma can lock him down. And I'm going to be interested to see if Zenigma can take advantage of that, or if we're going to see some smart play from the bot duo from Legend Spartans.
I mean, the level 2 of Tristana and Alistar is just extremely, extremely strong.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. So, because, Tristana can just jump in with her E. It looks like it will be a Wukong top. So, I imagine it will be a Karma Senna. It could also be a Malphite Senna. we'll have to see it. It is a support who will be farming after all, while the ADC is kind of just chilling, getting the souls, eventually scaling into late game because Fasting Senna is extremely strong, especially once she starts outranging the enemy team. As you can notice that besides the Tristana, it's kind of short range all across the board for the side of Legend Spartan. So, once that Senna is able to outrange the enemy team, be able to do some work. Looks like it will be Malphite there in the mid lane. Gerardan. I haven't seen this much. Last time we saw it was with last time I saw it really in competitive was with Doinby and FPX in Worlds. So that was like 2 years ago. It's very memorable, of course, and it's a very useful pick, especially when roaming along with the Xin Chao. We'll see what Gerardan can do. He can just, after all, just clear the wave immediately when it comes to the mid game and follow Xin Chao around, ult the target Xin Chao's going for, and kill them.
Yeah, but I think that a strong usage of preparation here from the side of Legend Spartans, knowing that the Sylas is a strong counter pick to the Malphite, means that you're just looking to find that matchup. And they were pretty quick on being able to say, all right, the Malphite gets fourth pick for the side of Zenigma, and then they immediately were like, all right, response pick is Sylas, so you can just have Sylas follow Malphite wherever he goes. That could have been a problem if they were going to flex the Malphite to support or a farming position in the bot lane anyways. But I think that that's a good matchup that they're going to get in the solo lane, and we'll see if being able to steal away that unstoppable force is going to mean enough in that lane to give the kill pressure completely over to Darwin Theory here.
I mean, Darwin Theory will definitely have a lot of kill pressure there in that lane, especially since Sylas can heal up. He's a very assassiny, a battle mage, so to speak, and he does have a lot of ultimates to be able to steal. He can steal the Senna ult, he can steal the... Probably not too useful, the Karma ult. The Xin Chao ult could also be taken by him, along with the Wukong ult. So definitely he has his pick of the ultimates that he could take. I'd say it's a pretty decent Sylas game for him overall. And yeah, looks like we should be going to a break right now while we wait for the teams to load in. We have our spectator delay for competitive integrity. And, Tiger, could be a fun game overall and a fun series. I'm excited to watch.
Absolutely. Welcome back, everyone. We've got onto the Rift for Game 1. Legend Spartans going to be on the blue side here, and on the red side, we've got Zenigma. Should be exciting Game 1.
Yep, definitely. I think we can go over the roster of players that we have just to make sure the audience is aware. Zenigma do have a sub in the mid lane instead of Neoshot. It will be Gerardan, but yeah, any case in the top lane, we have Zoom. Wait, before we talk about that, looks like there's an invade.
Yeah, got spotted out. Maybe a little bit of a flank coming through. No, just going to be deep wards. Actually, deep wards in both jungle quadrants for the side of Zenigma. So they're getting a little bit cheeky there. Izumi going to be able to find a little bit of an invade. So good work there. But getting back to introducing the teams. For Legend Spartans in the top lane, we're going to have Dazik. In the mid lane, we're going to have Darwin Theory, and I've already gotten out of order, but I said the right thing, so I'm going to just go backwards and be able to find. In the jungle, we've got Rouge Ronin, bottom lane Ravensman, and support Protoga.
Yeah, meanwhile, in Zenigma, we got Izumi in the top lane, Ryan Effin Miles in the jungle, Gerardan in mid as the sub, Blue Vapor as the ADC on the Senna, and G Dog on support Karma. We'll see how these two teams shape up. Oh, Darwin Theory already gone for a trade. That's something you really have to watch out for. But a lot of the minions also hitting Silas, so kind of an equal trade there all around. But eventually, I do expect Silas to have the priority in the lane here.
Yeah, and with that Kingslayer, I think Silas always going to be feeling pretty good about taking even trades. You can always regenerate that health by stealing it away from the enemy. So we're already seeing some healing coming through, corrupting pots for both mid laners. Zumi getting chunked out a little bit. When, as we talked about earlier, pretty strong pick in the meta right now. So maybe even a little bit surprising. A little bit surprising to see that it did not get banged out, but we'll see if Dazik can use that to his full potential here.
Yeah, usually Gwen's an automatic red side man, but it's Enigma. Maybe they're confident in their scrims, be able to deal with it. Gerardan here with the laning rune on the arcane comment, so definitely a lot of poke that Silas has to deal with. You should still be able. His heal is dependent, on the fact that he can get close to Malphite, and Malphite just doesn't give him the opportunity. Then he should be able to win out. We'll see if that's the case.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Darwin getting in close a bit, but yeah.
The abduct missed there. If it hit, then that trade would have looked totally different. But right now, Gerard, after chugging one stack of the corroding potion, is going to be feeling pretty good in this lane. A little bit lower, man, but we're getting a gank in the bot lane. We'll see if they're going to be able to lock down Protoga. He's going to fall very low, under 100 HP. Flash and heal burned by the bot side of Legend Spartans. Now taking the trade on the back end of the fight. Ravensman trying to find something on the way out, but it's just going to be the sums for nothing.
Yep, that's a decent trade all around. Ooh, Updelt almost getting hit. And no mana on Gerardan means that a trade would definitely go in Cloud's favor. Oh, wait. They're going in.
Yeah, it's going a little bit of an engage in the bot lane again. Ravensman trying to go forward. Protoga not quite synced up there. The gank was being attempted as well, but Rouge Ronin not able to find his way in. Now Dazik trying to go 1v1 against Izumi, who will come out on top. First blood going over to Izumi for Zenigma.
Damn, Izumi. You said you told me he had a bad game last time, but now he got first blood onto a Gwen of all champions, so good job by him. Darwin Theory warding here in the jungle. Just to see that Xinjiao is already double scuttling his jungler, and there's not much he can do because it's low health. Maybe if he had more health, he could contest that. Unfortunately, it looks like it will be a double scuttle for the side of Enigma. So playing this early game pretty well so far. On the Xinjiao, we'll see what comes out of it. And still things calming down besides that big skirmish in the bot lane and the first blood over in the top lane. So...
And I think that looking back on draft, Darwin Theory is a little bit low here, but he should be okay because of the no mana thing. We'll see if the gank comes through. Rouge Ronin trying to find something. Darwin Theory just pushing that wave in. So going back to what I was going to mention before, we've seen Hecarim really fall off the map as far as a viable jungler. So I don't know if there's been any recovery on that, or if Rouge Ronin has some stat. Oh, yes, patch came in this week, so I probably should pay.
Divine Sunder is just so strong that despite the nerfs that Hecarim got, he's still extremely strong using it. Now he's not as tanky as he was before, so doesn't go as fast with the cam tank, of course, but he can do a lot of damage in the early mid game, and that's something we definitely have to look out for. So Hecarim back on the menu as far as junglers are concerned. It's not as effective as the others. There are definitely tier 1 junglers that are better than him, like the Rumble, but it's still
like
Rumble's one of those
Zinjao,
champs
maybe?
that's hard. Yeah. Rumble's one of those champs that's hard to learn, and Zinjao was already taken by Zenigma, so Hecarim makes sense, definitely.
Absolutely right. And more trades coming through across the map. But I was thinking to myself about that anyways, that the Hecarim pick could be falling behind against Zinjao, and that would be understandable why he's getting double scuttled, why he's going to be, well, he's pretty close to even on farm. So credit due to Rouge Ronin so far this game, keeping it even. Izumi going in yet again for a trade in the top side. I think we'll be seeing a lot of that between these two top laners game, maybe even throughout the day. Izumi going to go all the way in. Cyclone going to try to find the kill. Flash for flash. Perfect timing from Dazik, and he's going to be able to escape this one. Trade of flashes in the top lane.
Oh, wait. Yeah, in the mid lane, we have some more trading going on. Runeterra is already level 6, so he should be able to steal the Malphite ultimate.
Ooh, it's a gank. It's a gank. Ronin trying to come in. Going to be able to find the dive. The stolen unstoppable force, and the kill comes through, but now it's a dive in the top lane. Will they be able to finish off Dazik? Yes, they will. Ryan Miles coming in for the kill. It's a trade across the map, 1-for-1 on the dives.
I gotta say, Izumi has been playing this lane really well against the Gwen, so he really came into this matchup prepared. It makes sense why they just decided to let the Gwen through. If Izumi can handle her like this, he's of course not winning when it comes to CS, but he is winning when it comes to trades. And it's just hard to trade against Wukong when he can just go in, hit you with the E, hit you with the Q, and then immediately walk out with his clone. There's not really anything you can do too much against that kind of trade. So definitely good on Izumi for abusing that. And in the mid lane, really good gank coming from Rouge Ronin, being able to stop the Malphite. A very well layered CC coming from Darian Theory 2 with the Malphite ultimate, and he couldn't get away. So rip for Gerardo, pug for Izumi, and on the other side, same thing.
Yeah, that's about right. And I think that going back to the Wukong versus Gwen matchup, I think that you were correct in saying that he can go in for those trades on the Wukong, but the especially important thing there is that none of it can be blocked by the Hollow Mist. A little bit of an invade coming into the jungle, just trying to steal away some vision, but over the wall going Ryan Miles. He's going to try to finish off Razor's man, going to use the Buster Shot to buy some space, but the flash unstoppable force, Gerardon going to claim one, and straight onto the dragon for Zenigma.
Yo, Ravens, my man, I don't think that was the play. He went for the W to try to get across after he got caught out by Ryan Miles. But unfortunately, he kind of failed to go over the wall and just immediately got ulted by Darwin Theory, so he had to give his life there. That was a interesting invade. A very optimistic one, I'd have to say.
Yeah, a good use of the blast cone there to come in on a little bit of a surprise note, but definitely a bit greedy to be that far forward just for vision without the jungler anywhere nearby. So good punish from the side of Zenigma. We'll see if any more of this punishment comes through in the bot lane, but I think that Ryan Miles is going to feel good on that one kill. Has fallen a little bit behind in the CS, though. Rouge Ronin actually winning the CS battle, so trying to teach me a lesson about Hecarim potentially is engage from Pratoga. It looks like an all-in coming from the side of Legend Spartans. Ravens man pretty low. Going to be dropped, not going to be hit by the Dawning Shadow, though going to survive. Now Pratoga going to be forced to flash. Dive potentially coming through. Blue Vapor going to try to go forward. Ryan Miles going to go in. Pratoga going to be sacrificed. Is able to land a headbutt and save the bot laner, but not himself. One going through in the dive in the bot lane.
Very good exhaust coming from G-Dog there in the bot lane to stop the combo from Persona doing too
This
much damage.
trade in the mid lane
Oh,
going
no!
pretty deep, gonna go all the way potentially. Flash for the killing blow, Darwin Theory. Meanwhile, top lane was solo kill for Izumi. Now in the bot lane, we're having fighting again. Ravens man gonna try to hop over the wall. Will it be enough? No, not even close. Heal comes through. Ryan Miles going to be able to survive as well. It's a 4-for-1 in favor of Zenigma.
And Spratoga's out there. He doesn't want to be any part of... No, I'm just kidding. All right, so he disconnected for a bit. We'll be back, guys. All right. So really good extended dive coming from Zenigma. They pretty much just had the man advantage throughout all of that. I'm not sure why Legend Spartans was basically throwing bodies when they definitely did not have an advantage there. In the... Wait, did Wukong get another solo kill in the top lane?
Yeah, that was during the fight in the mid lane.
Okay. Very nice, I guess. All right, so already, wait, I think I'm suffering a bit of lag. Okay, never mind. We're back in it. And yeah, that was a very good dive by Zenigma, really punishing what Legend Spartans could do. I think they really should have given that given the space up. They're not gonna win a 2v3 at any time, especially with the sustain that Senna can bring along with the speed ups from Karma. It's just Karma and Zin is just a very strong combination right now. It's very hard to be able to fight them, at least in the early game.
Yeah, and right now we haven't seen a lot of success in the ganks from Rouge Ronin. He was able to get that one kill in the mid lane, but when you compare it to what Ryan Miles doing around the map, it's been a little bit lesser, as Ryan Miles showing up for ganks in a lot of places, being in the right place at the right time, helping his bot lane get ahead. And right now we are seeing it's the fasting Senna, so we're getting a little bit less gold income on that champion. Now it's going to be a walk forward. At least roots coming through onto Protoga, not going to mean anything just yet, but pretty big trade coming through actually. Now it's going to be teleport coming in actually. Canceled away with the unstoppable force. Zen Gerardon going to be able to buy space for his bot lane to keep up the 2v2. Well, now it's going to be Darwin Theory going in, though he's going to try to punish Gerardon for taking away his teleport. And it looks like all of the sides have disengaged, but now we've got more combatants in the jungle. Rouge Ronin trying to find something, getting some pretty decent damage down. Darwin Theory looking for his way in. Going to be the flea coming through the dawning shadow over the top to try to give the shield, but it's not going to be enough to shut down. Going over to Rouge Ronin.
Really good stuff. At least getting something back, and the Silas getting stronger and stronger. His heal from the Kingslayer is absolutely disgusting. Wait, they're diving Ravens
man in trouble.
Oh,
yeah, they're gonna try to dive him. The speed up coming through, the auto attacks. It's going to be the save from the bush, but not going to be long enough. Protoga now trying to turn it around. Teleport coming through. This is some low health bars. No minions under the tower. I think they're going to lose at least one. We'll see if it's going to be more. Dazik going to be the member you want to see that gold on. It's going to be the escape coming through. Rouge Ronin trying to come in on the backside. Will he be able to take down G-Dog? Yes, he will. But Blue Vapor going to be able to get out. Maybe even trying to come for another kill. Meanwhile, Izumi taking down towers in the lane. So it's going to be a kill coming back to the side of Legend Spartans, but Zenigma taking down a tower in the meantime.
Yeah, good cross-map play from Izumi there in the top lane. Cannot sing this guy's praise enough for doing super well. Dazek has to stay in the bot lane at least. And Tristana is going over to catch the wave in the mid lane that Silas was unable to get. So nothing too much going into the void just yet. Silas is going over to the top lane. And Darwin Theory has been playing well so far this game. But right now, I think Zenigma are just playing the map better. They're using their champions to, I'd say, using their champions to their optimal way of playing them. I need to find a better word for that.
Yeah.
Can you help me out, Tiger?
Ideal.
Yeah, there we go. The ideal way of playing the champions there.
Most powerful. Whatever the case going to be, we're starting to see the second Drake come onto the map. The junglers rotating both towards this. Izumi maybe trying to go in here. Unstoppable force on it too. Now the Cyclone over the top. Rouge Ronin not going to fall very low though, and the escape coming through from the side of Legend Spartans. But meanwhile, Ryan going to take down the Drake, so he's going to have himself 2 for his team. Darwin Theory trying to find some sort of a trade here, but not going to be able to find much. 2-0 on the Drakes in favor of Zenigma.
Yep, and it is an Ocean Soul that we are getting. Now for both teams, that would be extremely important to get. But looking harder and
Rouge
harder.
Ronin could
right?
be in trouble here. Topside River going to be a fight breaking out.
Good one.
Dazik trying to find some kills with the needlework. It's going to be
Oh.
the onslaught of shadows coming through. Izumi dropping pretty low, but the Rouge Ronin going to barely make his way out. Dazik nowhere to go.
Oh.
Izumi going on a killing spree, and now the bottom tower in trouble. No dive going to come through there just yet, but another fight breaking down in the topside river. This one may be not just over yet. Darwin Theory going to flash away. Going to be down the Dawning Shadow over the top, 100 HP.
Oh.
The Kingslayer kept him alive. Rouge Ronin trying to get his way out of this one. He's going to be killed off. It's going to be Gerardon taking down the kill. Now this tower's in trouble. Pratoga going to try to defend it. Raven's men going in. They're looking for more. They're looking for kills. Will they be able to find it? The Ignite ticking down. It's going to be the rocket jump forward. Raven's man trying to find his way under G-Dog. Now it's going to be Pratoga in trouble. Going to be rooted up, and G-Dog going to take the counter kill. Raven's man now in trouble yet again. Tries to flash forward, trying to find the kill, but it's not enough. A double kill going over to G-Dog. Chaos across the map.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a desperate play coming from Ravenson and Pratoga, trying to save their tower for one last try, trying to go for one more all in. They tried to go on to Blue Vapor, but the sustain coming from both this Karma and the Senna is just too much for them to deal with right now when they're so far behind, 0-4 already on this Shistana. Even with the Executioners, it's just not enough. We saw Senna go super low. She was basically at 1/4 HP, and then 5 seconds later, she's back to full. So kind of very hard to deal with already at this point. And talking back to that skirmish in the blue side jungle of
this is going to be an execution. Darwin Theory in trouble, and Unstoppable forced to find his way out. Yeah, he's got the healing. He's got the narrow margins on his health bar. It's going to be the Rift Herald going down in the mid lane. Going to be nearly enough to take down this tower, but not quite enough. I think a couple more whacks would take it down, but not going to happen just yet. Knocking down that mid tower will give them a little bit more priority to roam across the rivers. Not that they would need it. They've already been flexing all over the map. Darwin Theory going to stick around for the moment, has that healing that we talked about early, but I think that is going to just about do it for that fight.
Yeah. And it looks like doing a good job so far from Zenigma. They definitely will be happy to be able to get this tower just to increase the snowball. And there we go. Wukong.
I was wrong. Blue Vapor in trouble, actually. Shutdown going over to Rouge Ronin. Now it's going to be the 1v1 in the top side. Dazik trying to find the outplay, trying to find the moves. 1,000 cuts. Will it be enough? He needed 1,001. Izumi going to be able to go on a rampage with a yet another solo kill, 1-for-1 across the map.
That was so close, though, and I guess that just lends to how strong Gwen is right now as a champion. She doesn't even have a completed Mythic against Wukong with Magic Resist Boots. Wait.
Trying to find the kill. Izumi could be in trouble. Not going to be willing to dive the tower here. It's 11-10. Rouge Ronin going to have the level advantage, but the Dawning Shadow trying to sway the fight. It's going to be the engaged. Ryan going to try to finish him off. Ronin going to try to keep fighting back, but it's not going to be enough. Ryan taking down another kill. Mid lane tower finally falls, and more stuff going Zenigma's way.
Yeah, pretty much. I think this whole game is going Zenigma's way already. 6,000 gold lead between the two. And I was saying back to my... Okay, one hot attack there is going to hit him in the fountain. But anyway, alright. Back to my point about Gwen as a champion. Just imagine how strong Gwen is when she does not have her mythic item when fighting that Wukong 1v1. And she almost won. She almost won against a 4-0 Wukong with a Divine Sunderer and Magic Resist Boots. Just... How strong is this champ right now that she's able to nearly win that? If she had her Rift Maker completed, I think she would have actually won. And Wukong at this point won't be able to side lane against her. Probably only be able to side lane against the Silas. So definitely good that Izumi was able to get that control early in the game. Wait, Darwin Theory.
Darwin Theory dropping pretty low. He's going to be all right. He's got support nearby. Pratoga going to make sure that he's okay. But as we talk about it, it's the Ocean Drake coming up, third Drake of the game if Zenigma can claim it. Fight going to break out before that can happen, though. Izumi
Oh, too
going in
many.
with the Cyclone. Will he be able to find the kill?
Oh.
Yes, he will. Going to find the Divine Sunderer proc, and it's going to be enough. A double kill coming through now with a dive over the top. Needleworks coming through. Dazik desperately trying to find some damage on the back end. Gerardon tanking up the tower for so long. It's going to be 4 kills going over to Zenigma and none back the other way.
Yep, Zenigma just flexing their muscles right now, beating the enemy team with their wallets. Look at them. All of them have their mythics completed. And the side of Legend Spartans, they just don't have the items. They don't have the gold to be able to compete with this. They are 7,000 gold behind. Gwen does not have her mythic. Silas does not have his mythic. Neither does Alistar. Right now they're just getting smacked by the wallets of Zenigma.
Yeah, and also Blue Vapor just hit 80 mist stacks, so the range definitely starting to stack up that we talked about earlier on in the cast.
Once it gets to 100, it's going to be really hard to be able to fight the Senna. Once it gets to 120, it's unplayable.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with how short range everyone is now. Ravensman going to try to find his way onto Izumi. Explosive shot only going to land 1 stack, so that's not going to do a ton of damage, especially against Wukong this fed. But a 3-level difference, those tend to mean a lot in the stats, so definitely not going to blame Ravensman for that, although being 0-5, not going to help either.
Yeah, I think if I'm correct, 1 level is around 300 gold in terms of gold efficiency. So, being basically 900 gold ahead, definitely not something you want to mess with. And looking at the gold values between these two teams, this Wukong's 3,300 gold ahead of the Gwen right now. Definitely, Izumi has been performing extremely well this game, along with the rest of his team. So that top lane, I just gotta highlight the 1v1s because of how how OP Gwen is right now in the meta, and the fact that Izumi is able to just pretty much take care of it shows a lot of skill. So definitely commendable. But all of Zenigma is playing really well together as a unit. They're able to put the fight on at the right moments. They're able to work together as a separate units, basically all across the map. And the fact that they know their breakpoints, they know when they're strong, and they're able to capitalize on their strength, gives them such a big advantage when it comes to these skirmishes. And right now, they're already on Ocean Soul Point, so 1 more and the game's pretty much sealed at this point.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing that stood out for me so far this game for Zenigma is how much patience they've shown. Basically, anytime that they don't need to take a fight, then they don't hard commit for anything. So far, we've been seeing a lot of solo kills in the top lane, so Izumi definitely going to be warranted for hard committing to stuff like this. He's going to be in trouble here, though. He's going to turn it around. Cyclone's coming through over the top. Needlework, will it be enough damage? Shot down, going over. But meanwhile, it's going to be the Baron, started up by Zenigma. They've got a lot of damage. The DPS coming through. They're going to be sacrificing a top laner and a mid-tier 1, and in return, they will be receiving the purple buff.
I think that's definitely worth a trade for Zenigma. Of course, they did get the shutdown. I believe it wasn't onto Gwen, so that's the sad part.
It was on to Hecarim.
Yeah, so unfortunate there at least. But at least they were able to get the shutdown, of course. No more perfect game for Izumi, overextending a bit. He already has his Black Cleaver completed. So definitely this Wukong is going to be doing a tons of damage. But the fact that the Zenigma managed to get the purple buff, as you said, they should be able to push this down, get even more gold into their hands as they start taking down these tier 2 towers.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've got so much siege potential. The Karma Senna bot lane definitely lends itself to being good with the Baron buff. You can just stand outside of the towers, try to poke away at the enemy team if they come close enough to clear the cannon minions that are buffed up. And if they end up trying to get any damage down, you just sustain that back away. So I don't think that there's any chance of contesting this tier 2. It looks like group coming through. Rouge Ronin is on the flank. If they're going to be able to find anything creative there, looks like right now he's just trying to farm away some camps. Stay a little bit caught in the CS, but it's going to be the engage, unstoppable force over the top. Now the Cyclones are coming through yet again. Ryan Miles going to start off with the double kill. G-Dog could be in trouble here under the tower. going to be Ryan going for kills on the Darwin Theory, but having to back away a little bit. Izumi now onto the back line, going to finish off Ravensman. Now it's going to be Ryan trying to take down Darwin Theory. The burn coming through from the red buff. Izumi once again will be the sacrifice, but yet again it's going to be a 4-for-1 in favor of Zenigma as they continue the push into the base.
It looks like they may want to be able to end this here. The teleport is in for the Malphite. Looks like they are just going for the end. The death timers are pretty long. Will they be able to get it in time, though, is the big question. Looks like they will be. And
4v2.
This first game, this first game might just go Zenigma's way, but Gwen is already appearing. Tristana is almost there. It might be a race.
Here's the engage. It's going to be the pulverize coming through. Blue Vapor dropping pretty low, but he's got the heals. It's going to be the Nexus dropping, and it's going to be game 1 going over to Zenigma.
What a game from Zenigma. It was just domination from every part of the map. Gerardon didn't have to do much, of course, in that mid lane, just survive, and I think he did really well in keeping the Silos at bay. He didn't get too out of control from Darwin Theory. Izumi, of course, with an excellent, almost immaculate performance on the Wukong, and everyone on Zenigma did their job well. And I have to say, hopefully we can see a bit of a change in game plan when it comes to Legend Spartans at this stage of the game. Maybe put a bit more priority into I'm not sure. Maybe helping Gwen, because she cannot play weak side. This champion is not a weak side champion. Maybe if Rouge Ronin can put more attention towards that top lane, get Dazik ahead. If they're putting him on these carry champs, maybe that's their way into this game. But so far, really well played by Zenigma, and this could be their first win against Legend Spartans, a team they have never beaten before.
Yeah, that would be big for them. And for the side of Legend Spartans, I think that we got to mention the fact that you're seeing some numbers like 07, 06, 04. These things are things that happen when you lose, and then you do that. But they need to also know when they're behind and not take these fights. Like, they took bad number fights that were in favor of Zenigma when they were behind. They need to be able to figure out a way to not do that. And maybe going forward into the next game, they can regroup and find themselves a way to stabilize the mental and get into a good position. But hopefully we'll be able to see that for them and get a little bit more competitive in game 2.
Yeah, definitely. But for now, I think we're going to head into a short break while we wait for the teams to load back in. So don't go anywhere, guys. We will be right back with game 2 of the series.
Welcome back, everybody. We got game number 2 coming up here. It's Zenigma going to be on the blue side this time. Legend Spartans will be on the red side, and we'll see if we're going to have some draft differences coming through after game 1, a decisive victory for Zenigma.
Yeah, very decisive. In fact, it was just every single lane went well for them, even the mid lane. The Malphite doing well to keep that Silas in check, as I said before. We'll see what adjustments Legend Spartans will make against Enigma. Nothing too drastic, I'd have to say, between the changes. Rumble still getting banned out. The Thresh this time. Thresh also banned out by Zenigma. Looks like we'll see what other bans they have in store. Or whether, maybe Legend Spartans will be like, alright, we can just play that comp again. Just run it back because we should have done better that game. I think there were mistakes throughout the game, and not necessarily due to draft, because I think they definitely had the tools to get back into it. Unfortunately, taking skirmishes where you're kind of outnumbered will definitely not go well for your team. And let's see what adjustments they make in game.
Yeah, and already a little bit of draft changes coming through. Well, it's a trade actually as that pick comes through. The Kog'Maw and Ezreal being banned by separate teams, but it looks like it will work out to be the same 6 bans as last game. So all the differences are going to be in the picks for the first half of the draft.
We'll see what the first pick will be. Zenigma is on the blue side, of course, so now they get to have first pick, while Legend Spartan, they get to have counter pick for their last one. It looks like Zenigma going for that Karma again. What will Legend Spartans do? They could decide to just take away the Xin Zhao too, or possibly the Senna. It is up to them if they want to. If they want to go for it, looks like they will be taking the Senna. Apparently, the bot lane was very oppressive to play against, so this time they want Ravensman on the pick. See what he can do with it. Possibly a lot. The Senna is very strong right now.
I'm hoping that this will mean that we'll see a little bit more defensive play from the bot lane of Legend Spartans. Last game we saw them getting into a lot of fights, a lot of rocket jumps forward, not so many rocket jumps backwards for a little bit of kiting. But the Xin Zhao also going over to Legend Spartans would mean that we're seeing a drop in the priority for Gwen, first of all, and also a lot of the power picks that helped out Zenigma are going to be taken away this time.
Yeah, I think Legend Spartans have the intel right now that the Zenigma is really prepared to fight against the Gwen pick, so possibly not going to pick it. Instead, they will go for the Xin Zhao themselves. Now, they could also decide to go for the Lulu in order to power up the Xin Zhao, because Xin Zhao with an Enchanter is really strong. It's not required, of course, but it does help that jungler a lot when it comes to these big team fights. Instead, looks like it will be Blue Vapor on this Caitlyn. Very oppressive bot lane if this is going to be a Karma Caitlyn bot. And the Skarner in response. Okay.
Yeah, Zenigma starting to look towards an early game comp here. Early to mid game, I should say. Level 6, very strong for Skarner, of course. Even going to be able to gank before that. And then the root combination between Karma and Caitlyn means that anytime you walk too far forward, you're going to be in trouble. So I think that might be a dissuading factor if Legend Spartans were thinking about picking a melee support to go with the Senna. Definitely could go for a wide variety of supports. But if they do go for a melee pick, they could be in trouble.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll see what they decide to go for. They will be going for the Wukong themselves now. I think the logic behind Zenigma's Caitlyn pick right here is they want to punish the Senna as much as possible, make sure that she doesn't she and her support gets as little farm as possible, and extend their and stop the late game from happening. Mordekaiser being
Mhm.
banned, that's a very bad matchup for Wukong, so it makes sense why they want to make sure their top laner is comfortable, because they're blind picking top is always gonna make it hard for your top laner, especially in a long lane like top lane, where if you get counter pick, it's just so punishing, and especially since you don't really have any backup if you fall far behind, as we saw last game.
I'm expecting that the Wukong will be top lane, but is a flex between top, mid, and support, especially with the Senna. Senna Wukong has been a lane before.
True.
I don't know. I don't know if Legend Spartans have the drop on that or what the situation is going to be, but I've got my eye on that. Especially with the last pick here, Legend Spartans could be doing a lot of stuff with some flex picks around this time of the game.
Jack's being taken away too, so I don't think it's Wukong versus Jax isn't a very hard matchup for the Wukong. It could definitely go either way, but definitely Wukong has an advantage with his abilities with regards to that, especially since he can easily avoid the counter strike with his clone. But I guess they just don't want to face this matchup in the side lane when they just don't want to face against a side laner as strong as Jack split pushing when you have kind of a death ball squad roaming around. But I don't know, there are other options that Zenigma can go to if they want to go for the split push, if they want to go for the 1-3-1.
And the Seraphine would also be a flex pick here.
Gosh.
Probably would go towards support, is my guess. Then that would leave mid lane as the counter pick. But what I kind of had my mind on was that they were going to take away the Wukong, then throw it into support and pick up the Gwen, which still could technically be possible. Seraphine, a flexible champ towards mid lane, but not very likely. We'll see which direction this ends up going. But I think that the Seraphine going to be giving more range if it is a support Seraphine, and should work well with the Senna, getting the layers of healing, can just try to play that lane pretty defensively and just sustain up after the Karma and Caitlyn poke comes through.
Yeah, looks like Gerardon will be going for his Malphite mid again. Not too surprised since it was very effective last time. And yeah, talking about the Senna Seraphine, that could be a very annoying lane to play against too. Even if you poke them out, they have a lot to sustain. But at least in the early game, it should go the way of Karma and Caitlyn. Looks like Camille will be chosen. So in the end, Zenigma did decide to go with the split pusher. So they definitely have what it takes to have a 4-1 comp, so to speak. They do have a death ball kind of strat with the Caitlyn, the Karma, the Skarner, and the Malphite. And Camille can just do whatever she wants in the side lane. Wukong will have to try to beat her. And it is definitely capable. It's kind of a skill matchup between Wukong and Camille. We'll see if Izumi can get the better of Dazik again in this matchup. We'll have to see. And this time Silas going to the other side. Silas going again to Darwin Tyrion, who did perform well. Yeah, he did perform well with it, I'd have to say.
Yep, he was not at the most fault in the loss, I'd have to say. 1-1 and 2. Definitely didn't get as much done as maybe one could hope to get done on a Silas, but then again, the side lanes were falling a little bit apart for them, so definitely don't mind seeing that back. And a lot of what I'm going to be looking at here for the side of Legend Spartans is how the mid-jungle duo is going to do this game, because last game, Rouge Runen was actually the one who was getting all the kills pretty much the entire time. So if he's going to be on the Xin Zhao carry pick, then that's exactly what you want. Hecarim definitely also a potential carry pick, but wasn't by a long shot the most carry that they had on their team. This time around it's a little different. They got double enchanters, if you count Senna as an enchanter, which I do at least. And then they've got better engaged this time with the Wukong Silas. Well, maybe equally good engage since they switched the support to enchanter.
They
Yeah,
have the long
yeah,
range engage from the Seraphine too, so that's definitely something they can do. And I'd have to say, I will at least defend my boy Rouge Ronin. His sidelines were falling apart, so there's not much he could do if you're the jungler and everything's going wrong. It felt like he was trying to put out fires across the map. So hopefully this time things will work out better for him with regards to his side laners. And Ravensman and Pratoga should be able to sustain this time, at least through the Caitlyn and the Karma pick. And Wukong, we saw how effective Wukong can be in the last game. Let's see if G Dazik can pull off what Izumi did and take him down 1v1. But we'll have to see, in the game.
Yeah, I think that Wukong definitely a strong 1v1 champion. Dazik may be underestimating in some of the trades last time around what the Wukong can actually do. So we'll see. I'd like to think that based on the fact that Izumi was just playing Wukong, that we'll see a little bit of respect coming through. But Camille definitely a different champion than Gwen. We'll see just how those trades are going to shape up, and if we're going to see more respect from either side, or if we're just going to see another bloodbath. To be quite frank with you, it was what last game was in the top lane.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. I'd have to say in the level 1 to 2 whether Izumi can take control of the lane or not. Camille does have a stronger level 1 to 2 against the Wukong, who can't really trade with her because of her passive. At least when Wukong gets his clone, I think that's when he'll be able to at least use his hit and run tactics to full effect. But before that, Camille should definitely have an advantage. And we'll see if the respect is given. It's gonna be Zen on the Zen Blue Vapor on the Caitlyn this time, along with G-Dog on the Karma. Very oppressive lane to lane against. But we have Ravensman and Senna and Pratoga on the Seraphine. Very annoying lane to play against. So right now, as you said, these two ADCs are the highest rated players on the team. So if we're looking for anyone to carry, it would have to be those two. We'll see what their team can do to back them up. But pick potential, I'd have to say, coming from Zenigma is extremely strong. They have, of course, the suppression from the Skarner Impale. They have Caitlyn's traps. They have the Malphite ultimate, and they have Camille to trap someone in and separate fights on its head. Meanwhile, on the side of Legend Spartan, they have a bit more teamfight oriented comp with the ultimates coming through. They have the Silas to steal the Malphite ult, or even the Skarner ult if they do want. They have the Wukong ultimate as well, and the Seraphine ultimate to start fights from long range. So definitely there are tools for them to get into this game with the team fights. And yeah, it's gonna be the pick versus the clash. We'll see what happens in this game. Tiger, any final thoughts you got?
I'm thinking that it's going to be an early game team comp versus a late game team comp. So if we see an early game get smashed by Zenigma, then we're going to have a fight. And if we see Legend Spartans coming out strong and being able to fight on even ground through the mid game, then we might be in for a game 3 coming at you.
All right. So with that said, we'll be right back, guys. Hopefully you guys stay tuned. We should be back in a few minutes to get into game 2 of Legend Spartans vs Zenigma.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got game 2 about to begin. This time around, we've got Zenigma on the blue side. Red side going to be Legend Spartans. They need a win here to keep the series alive and should be an exciting game.
Yeah, I definitely want a game 3 between these two. But if Zenigma do win this, it'll be the first time they win against Legend Spartans, so they definitely want to be able to take this win here and now instead of going to a game 3. We'll see, of course, what they have in store in this game. They brought out the Camille, who does not have Flash. Instead, he has Ignite and Teleport. Maybe some 1v1s will be in order, like we saw last game. Izumi going for blood this time. Again, this time around.
Yeah, we got a little bit of dancing occurring in the mid lane. You love to see it. Sweep going to be able to find out that ward, so going to be a little bit of early gold in the pockets. 20 gold over and plus 15 more for the Skarner Spire, so already off to a good start for the side of Zenigma.
Yeah, definitely. Killing a ward also gives a bit of EXP, so maybe Malphite will be able to get the level 2 from 6 minions instead of 7 minions. That's per usual in the solo lanes. We'll see what happens. Wait, is this a lane swap? Hold on.
Ooh, it could be Gerard going to be appearing in the top lane here, playing that Malphite pick that he liked from last game, but this time around wanting to have the matchup against a Wukong. That definitely changes the complexion of the game, and the 1v1 versus Camille and Silas should have fireworks going off, I think.
Silas took the magic resist rune too instead of the armor rune. That's gonna feel bad in the early game. Darwin 3 probably not expecting this. So a bit of unfortunate there with regards to the setup. For Legend Spartan, we'll see how this lane swap works out. Of course, Izumi on his Camille, he does not have flash, so maybe that can be abused by the jungler. They do have a Xin Zhao.
Ooh, maybe it can be abused just by Darwin Theory and lane, dropping him pretty low, under 100 HP. We'll see if it's going to be a recall forced off of that. Potion's going to be burned, and we'll see if Gank's coming through as well as Rouge Ronin is in the area.
I actually like this lane swap coming from Zenigma because Wukong is an absolutely abysmal match. Malphite is an absolutely abysmal matchup for the Wukong. Can just slow him down and stop him from going all in, at least until later in the game. So definitely good decision there by Zenigma. But Basic seems like he wants to throw away the stats out the window. Still playing aggressively. You like to see it. But definitely Gerardon shouldn't have any problems here in this top lane.
Yeah, Dazik just trying to get in some trades in the early levels. Not going to be under a lot of kill threat from Gerardon unless he way oversteps. But a little bit of trades coming through. Looking just on the Wukong pretty similar to how it was for Izumi last game. But this time around, Izumi going to be in the mid lane trying to find good trades onto Darwin Theory instead.
Yeah. I'm happy to see a lot more teams decide to put their top laner mid and vice versa because of how similar the roles can be. Wait,
well, looks like Ryan Miles going to try to find a fight on the Rouge Ronin. Not going to be able to find too deep of a trade. Don't want the mid laners rotating over, and especially with the health bar difference, probably a good idea to just disengage there.
Yeah, this time, of course, he does not get double scuttled.
Dazik dropping under 100 HP there. Could have been in trouble if there had been any more ranged abilities, but Malphite just doesn't have that, so just going to be the cheese wheel coming through, doing a bunch of damage, and then that's the end of the trade. So I think that's going to be recall force, though, for Dazik, so he's going to be teleporting on out, presumably shortly.
Yeah, he will, in order to catch this wave. It is Scam Wave, so he won't be missing much, just one minion. Of course, so good stuff by Gerardon so far in the top lane. He is kind of falling behind. It is kind of hard to CS on a Malphite, as I said. But, you know, LCSing your opponent is a bonus for this champ. You just want to be able to scale up into the late game. He's already getting his armor items, so Wukong will have a much harder time trying to do anything against the solid rock here in the top lane. Meanwhile, in mid, looks like the Silas has a really big CS advantage right now. So really well played by Darwin Theory. In spite of the runes. Wait, Trades in bot
Yeah,
lane.
Blue Vapor is in a little trouble here, but
Wait.
Pratoga dropping pretty low as well. The
Oh,
Knight
no.
ticking down, flash away, flash
Oh.
forward. It's going to be the Mantra Q landing. First blood going over to G-Dog. Now the trade's coming through on the back end of the fight. Not going to be anything else coming through, though. Zenigma 1 for 0. Gank coming through in the top lane. We'll see flash away from Gerard on, and he's out. So 1 for 0 across the map. Zenigma starting off strong.
Yeah, definitely. So good stuff from Zenigma's bot lane. Of course, last game they performed super well. It's good to see them keep up the performance this time. Wait, they're still going in. They really want to go onto this Malphite, but I don't think they're going to get any more out of that gank.
Ooh, that's the Hextech ultimatum. It's an all-in the
Zumi?
mid lane.
Oh!
Darwin Theory not level 6 yet. It's going to be Azumi finding himself a solo kill.
And it looks like Legend Spartan will also get the dragon for themselves. So they realized the top lane, the jungler was in the top lane, and immediate. Oh wait, sorry. I got the teams confused. Sorry, guys. Wait, before we can have more action in the mid lane, I got the teams confused. It was Zenigma who got the dragon. My bad. They saw that Rouge Ronin was in the top lane. Wait, Ryan Miles?
Ooh, Ryan a bit far forward. Flash for flash. Rouge Ronin trying to chase him down. Teleports coming into the mid lane. We'll see if it's going to be a re-engage. Ryan Miles going to drop, but now an unstoppable force onto you. Darwin Theory going to try to flash his way out. Going to try to ult his way out, but it's not going to happen. A hook shot over the wall, and Izumi claims a kill on the backside of the fight. 1 for 1.
Izumi is on fire right now. This man is playing super well in this series, getting solo kills left and right, and that is the second that Silas has. Definitely not ideal, and this Camille's gonna just get stronger and stronger as the game goes on. Camille's early game is pretty good, but her late game is even better.
I'm glad to hear that you've been taking notes on the words that you can use. The ideal coming through strong there. Of course, we're seeing the teams playing pretty aggressively once again. 7 minutes in, not an absolute bloodbath, but the trades have been coming through, going pretty deep, and some kills in this early game has been pretty beneficial for Zenigma so far. They're 700 gold ahead, looking to extend that gold advantage, though, if they want to have a good opportunity to come out with the 2-0.
Definitely. Oh wait, Darwin Theory went for a trade, but that's not favoring him.
Yeah, he's going to have to heal up on the backside of that if he's going to have any semblance of evenness in that trade. Trade's coming through across the map, actually. It's a 2v2 in the mid lane. It's going to be the skewer coming through the tower, finishing it off. Izumi on a killing spree. Now Ryan Miles going to continue the push forward. Darwin Theory could be in trouble. Going to be pretty healthy here, actually, walking up into the river. Izumi trailing behind, not wanting to give back any help, but it's going to be the miss on the abduct, and it's going to be the kill going over to Ryan. 2 for 0 in the mid lane, 2v2.
That was a disaster. I can't believe Rouge Ronin did not respect the fact that he could just get impaled and pulled under tower like that. Immediately stunned for days. So, unfortunately, getting killed right there. I think he just wanted to push in the wave to get a good reset for his mid laner who doesn't have teleport.
About to be ready.
Oh,
Unstoppable force, instant kill. Gerard using it on cooldown, to be honest with you. That's pretty disrespectful to stand up that far, Dazik, with that little health. So a kill going back over in the top lanes. Enigma starting to clean up here. Now Ravensman could be in trouble. He's going to be rooted up here. The double charm comes through with the encore. Pratoga trying to keep his 80 carry alive, but it's going to be the ace in the hole, finishing off the kill in the bottom lane. Pratoga will go down, and it's a bunch of kills coming through recently for Zenigma across the map.
What a smash coming from Zenigma right now. Again, all lanes just going well. They know the matchups that they need to win. This Malphite, Wukong can't do anything against this Malphite right now. At least it's going to be a while before he's even able to damage this big rock in the top lane. And in the mid lane, the jungle and mid 2v2 is just favoring Zenigma right now. Just that mistake from Rouge Ronin there in the mid lane, getting too close and getting pulled under turret. Definitely something he's going to look back on with regret. And now a 3,000 gold lead for the side of Zenigma. They're definitely happy with the way this game is going, and they're happy to snowball this to victory if they can. We'll see. Legend Spartans can somehow bring this back. Maybe with some plays.
Yep.
Excuse me. Across the map.
Yeah.
My bad.
By
Sorry,
the
guys.
way, Izumi got his Trinity Force at 9 minutes, so that's not too bad. Definitely, you'll love to see that if you're a Camille player. Looks like a 2v2 breaking down the mid lane again. A 2-level difference. Izumi, instant kill. Ryan Miles is going to clean that one up. Rouge Ronin going to be forced to use the Crescent Guard on his way out and have a nice day. It's a 1-for-0 in the mid lane gank.
Yeah, really good. I think that could have been 2-for-0 if Ryan did not use his impale on the Silas, who was probably already dead at that point. But they'll still take that. They'll still take the advantage. And right now, big advantage there. Wait, the bot lane?
Yeah, exhaust going to be dropped. Blue Vapor going down to about 60% HP. A little bit of poke coming through from the other side, but it seems that they're going to not be too concerned about that. The exhaust was burned there, so that will not be available for a few minutes here. We'll see if any sort of dive's going to come through here. A lot of poke going down actually on the Ravens, man, so we'll see which jungler is going to show up in the bot lane. It looks like Rouge Ronin is on the way. Could be looking for a fight here. We'll see if any engage going to come through. No encore available right now. But now it's going to be the dive. Gerardin with no respect. But now Darwin Theory is the one in trouble. Izumi a little bit too strong here. The Hextech ultimatum stolen away, but it won't be enough. Now it's going to be a fight breaking down in the bot lane. Rouge Ronin has arrived. Now will he be able to find any kill? The speed up coming through. G-Dog going forward. Now it's going to be Blue Vapor having to flash his way out. The roots coming through. Encore going to land onto 2. Comes up just in the nick of time, and Pertoga going to claim one back, going under 100 health, but the minion wave not going to quite finish off the kill there. Now G-Dog going to be forced to sit under tower, but I don't think that there's going to be any further engage here. It's going to be a 1-for-1 across the map.
Yeah, that's definitely something, at least for the side of Legend Spartan. The top lane Malphite, I kind of miscalculating there. I think he could have possibly burst Wukong down if he had hit a cheese wheel on him first, as you said. Fortunately for Dazik, he's able to survive. He's able to get back into lane, not losing much. But yeah, definitely all across the board, Zenigma is kind of winning out. That bot lane, though, really good response from Legend Spartan. At least they're able to get something in order to somehow, try and get back into this game. But it's looking harder and harder as time goes by.
Yep, Cloud Drake now available, going to have full river control given over to Zenigma. Should be able to claim this one pretty easily. No contest coming through as we see the recall coming through from Rouge Ronin. And now a little bit of an invade into the jungle. And this time I think it's going to be done correctly. The jungler nearby, the bot lane available, even mid lane roaming up into the enemy bot side jungle. Zenigma definitely more comfortable in roaming up for that vision in the jungle. Now it's going to be a Hextech ultimatum. Izumi going to try to find a 1v1. Not going to be able to quite finish off the kill as Darwin Theory going to escape just barely. Rift Herald actually was started up in the top side by Dazik, but it's going to be able to reset there, so it's a little bit of a time investment. Now the dive coming in. Ryan Miles is going to try to find some kills. Izumi finding a solo kill in the mid lane in the meanwhile, but the dive going to finish off. Blue Vapor going to find the kill. It's going to be the Impale as well. Sun's coming through. So much CC from the side of Zenigma, and it's a double kill for Blue Vapor.
As you said, there's just too much CC for them to work with, and Izumi is just conquering this mid lane right now. He's already at the tier 2. He got the solo kill onto Darwin, and he's already pushing the tier 2 turret. This is unbelievable.
Split pushing the mid lane.
Yes.
Izumi is split pushing the mid lane right now. This is absurd.
Oh, it's gone. Not even Rift Herald required. Camille is just enough to be able to do it. Izumi playing super well right now. There's almost nothing it seems like Legend Spartan can do to stop this guy from wanting to win his team the series. He wants to get to a side lane, he's fine. I think he can just 1v1 anyone on the map at this point.
Yeah, at least, if not 1v2 or 1v3. But whatever the case may be, a lot of gold going over. It's actually an 8,000 gold lead right now. And right now, for the mid lane matchup, we've got about a 3,600 gold lead, so that's pretty big.
That's absurd. Yeah, that's absolutely absurd. They do get the referred for themselves now that they possibly will use towards that top lane, I would imagine. Get more gold in for their team, get more control. It is another Ocean Soul. So if Zenigma is able to get it, snowball this, stack these dragons up, then they should be able to comfortably win the game. They've already rotated their bot lane up to the top lane in order to keep this Caitlyn safe.
Dazik is about to get rooted up. Will
Oh,
he
no.
be able to have enough escape tools? It's going to be flash burn. Auto
in, they're
attacks
diving.
coming through. The Gale Force as well. The Cyclone going to try to have the under tower, but it's not going to be enough. The killing spree now for Ryan Miles. Unstoppable Force blown in the mid lane for Gerard on to make sure he could escape. But the 3-man group not going to be enough in the mid lane to find a counter kill. So it's just the one in the top lane. And the tower as well going for Zenigma. Now with the Rift Herald, we'll see just how far they can go.
Yeah, they should be able to cleanly take the tier 2-2. There's just no one that can respond to him. Here comes the teleport.
Ooh, Izumi with a full dive, going to try to
dive.
be able to find his way in. It's so much CC, though. He's going to be shut down a little bit too aggressive there. Full 3 seconds of CC, but now the Impale going to come through. Ravensman, no way out. No dashes, no flashes. He's going to go down. So it's a 1-for-1, and the Rift Herald continues the push.
They should be able to maybe even get the inhibitor turret. Okay. They aren't going to go for the inhibitor, though. Yeah, that's definitely the right call.
16-minute inhib tower.
Yeah, that's very rough, honestly.
They might get 2 here soon. They've got a wave under tower in mid lane as well. Darwin Theory trying to take a trade on to Gerard and finally finding that Silas versus Malphite matchup. Going to be getting a little bit of the better of that one. Gerard going to be able to walk away, at least flash forward. Darwin Theory's trying to go for the all-in. He's going with the abscond. Will he find the abduct? Yes, he will. He's under tower. He's going to find the kill. Solo kill in the bot lane for Darwin Theory.
I think that's the matchup Darwin Theory really intended from the start, but the wrench in the plan from Zenigma completely shattered him right now, at least. But at least he's able to still pick up a solo kill down there in the bot lane. Right before the dragon shows up, of course, Zen Gerardan will be up in time for the dragon fight if it happens. Let's Darwin Theory. He's going for more picks here.
Yeah, just trying to take the red buff in the bot side jungle is Zenigma's bot lane. Blue Vapor going to be pleased with just that. Now the top lane is Izumi trying to find his way in. Hookshot going to be interrupted. Cyclone going to be enough to get Dazik out of that one. So going to be able to survive at the very least in this matchup.
Yeah, but if they try to contest the dragon, Wukong's not going to have his ultimate for the fight, which is pretty big, honestly. Meanwhile,
yeah, and they're also going to give up an inhib if they try to contest Drake because Izumi is just lording over the top side right now.
Who can stop Izumi right now? There's basically no one. Zenigma already on to the river. There's not much Legend Spartans can do to contest it, I think. Flanked. Oh, they can try to get the pick onto Izumi.
Nope, he's just going to hookshot right on out of there. Yep. Izumi... So much escapability on the Camille. Definitely paying off the flashless, mid laner, I guess. I was going to say top laner, but not this time around. So, anyways, Izumi finding the plays. G-Dog going to try to find his way. Darwin Theory in trouble. Going to be hit with the ace in the hole. Going to be hit with everything. And the kill comes through for Ryan Miles. Now Izumi 1v1ing Rouge Ronin. It's going to be the flash away, Dawning Shadow over the top. Turrets going down in the bot lane. Wow. In the meantime, Izumi taking up so much pressure in the top side. Now it's going to be another inhib tower started up here at 18.5 minutes. All of the tier 2's gone. We'll see just how far Zenigma can go here. Another tier 3 drops. It's just the mid lane inhib tower still standing. They're looking at the inhib. They're clearing all the minions. Now they've set themselves up. They are onto the inhib. No fight back coming through. It's just the poke from Ravensman at the moment. Now the flank coming through. Dazik trying to find his way onto the enemy. 2-man encore going to land. Gerard on a little bit low on the health. Going to be able to find his way out. Blue Vapor trying to turn this one around. Cyclone into the backline. Dazik trying to find the kills. Will he be able to find? He's got one, but he gets rooted up. Double kill coming through for Blue Vapor. It's 2 for 2 so far. Blue Vapor very low. Going to go down. Rouge Ronin trying to turn the fight around. It's going to be 3 for 2 so far, and the disengage coming through from Zenigma, but fighting back is the side of Legend Spartans.
That was just a really good ultimate from Dazik, able to stop the backline from doing damage to the front line. They're able to basically kill Camille and the Skarner before anything could happen. You have to be careful about Jordan and G-Dog. They're here. They might be going for the kill.
Camp in the bush. They've got the unstoppable force.
No way.
gonna think better of this one.
Well, they
Ravensman
just-
would get instantly deleted
No,
if
they
they
don't
went in
see
on
each
the
other. Oh my gosh.
ships passing in the night. Miles,
Yeah.
we've got no one going to be looking for the kills there. Too volatile. Still going to be a massive lead after that 3-for-2. But at least Legend Spartans starting to put up a little bit of a fight here, trying to make this game not over quite yet. But we'll see if they're going to be able to contest in 2.5 minutes or so. Going to be Ocean Soul. They're going to have to win that fight, or at least be able to steal that Drake away if they're going to have any chance.
Yeah, but looks like Zenigma is already heading towards the Baron, which is the big objective they want to pull. They can even just give up the Ocean Drake if they really want to be able to do it. If they want to do it, they're just so far ahead right now. 9,000 gold lead after that fight.
All eyes on Izumi.
They're going in.
All eyes on Izumi. Where is he going to go? If you look away for a second, he'll blow someone up before you
That's true,
can
that's true.
say engage. So we'll see if that's going to happen. Now it's
Wait,
Rouge Ronin actually
in?
looking for the engage in the topside jungle.
Ryan.
Ryan Miles may have overstepped his welcome, trying to flash his way away. Chem Tank going to be, well, actually preserved since he wasn't running towards the enemy team. Just speeding up off of the phase rush, giving him that much movement speed. So Skarner, very slippery champion right now, especially on Spires. So he's going to be able to get away, but a good group now actually coming through from Legend Spartans to keep themselves alive in these fights.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they stay as a death ball and they're able to just fight front to back, then maybe they have a chance within these fights. If their backline does not get bursted down because of the sustain coming from the Seraphine and the Senna. So if they're able to just leverage that, then maybe they can get back into this game. It's gonna be really hard though. 1 minute till the Dragon Soul comes up, and once Zenigma get the Ocean Drake, the game should be as good as done. I say that, and I've seen teams lose with 5v5s with Ocean Souls on hand, so maybe not as bad. But wait, Ryan
trying to walk forward in the topside jungle, not going to be able to find anything just yet. Going to be able to pop the Spire though, so gaining a little bit more control of the territory. Going to try to defend this control ward actually. Little bit of fighting going over the vision in the top side. You love to see it. Not going to be any full commits just yet. Zumi's in the area though, so any moment could be a fight breaking out with a hook shot over the top. Drake going to be spawning here in about 40 seconds though, so the rotation going to come towards the bot side. Izumi trying to find his way in. Maybe just looking threatening there with the hook shot. Maybe intended to go backwards, but whatever the case. Flash over the wall. Ryan going in. Immediate flash away from Raven's men and be able to buy enough space. But now it's going to be the Drake. Will they be able to engage through this team comp of Zenigma? Legend Spartan's going to go through the mid lane here, it looks like.
Yeah, looks like the contest will be over the Ocean Dragon. It's going to be 9 seconds, but they have to push this lane before going in. Scuttle control will go, and river control will go to Zenigma, and the team fight will break out around now.
Yeah, it's going to be unstoppable force onto 2. Dazik trying to find another perfect cyclone. Going to be landing it on the carries. Gerardin going very low. Ryan Miles going to have to walk his way out, but first kill of the fight going over to Ravensman. Now it's going to be the Impale onto Darwin. He's going to go very low into the zone. He's going to be able to keep himself alive for a moment. Not going to be able to survive. Izumi now trying to go onto the back line. It's a 2-for-2 so far. Izumi turning it around though. Rouge Ronin going to be in trouble here. Going to be killed. A double for Izumi. Make it 3. It's going to be Zenigma cleaning up the fight and the Ocean Soul.
Oh my gosh, what a brilliant fight from Zenigma, able to win out. It's going to be the Ocean Soul for them, and it should be the game. Honestly, the engage looked super good for Legend Spartan. They were able to get multiple people charmed. They were able to get the team fight of their dreams with Wukong going through in the backline, but it was just not enough. Izumi just made enough chaos for them to win the fight, and meanwhile, through all of that, Blue Vapor was just hitting the, was just free firing. Happy to auto space, happy to do damage as is Caitlyn, and they just couldn't do anything about him.
Yep, Zenigma kited so far back, actually, that they were able to stretch apart the team comp from the side of Legend Spartans. And they were able to isolate the carries so Izumi could just get into the back line and start creating chaos, which is exactly what you want to do if you're playing Camille. So it was basically the fight that they were looking for. Not exactly a perfect engage from Gerardin, but he was able to knock up 2 and at least find the interest in the fight. Now Ryan
Oh,
Miles
wait,
is going to be
going in.
walking forward, going for an impale. He's got teammates nearby. The Cyclone coming through. Encore is going to miss.
Oh,
Now Teleport's coming in. Blue Vapor going to find himself a kill. Now it's going to be the Hextech Ultimatum onto Ravensman. No chance for him. Now the stolen Hextech Ultimatum not going to do anything. A double kill coming through for Blue Vapor. Will he see a triple? Izumi going on a killing spree as well. 4 for 0. Will he be able to get his way onto Pratoga? I don't see any way out for this Seraphine. Going to just be vibing there, listening to the beat of the Death March, and it's going to be 5 for 0 as Zenigma charges into the base.
Zenigma should be able to end from this now. The death timers are pretty long, or maybe not.
Yeah, Ravensman will
still
come
up.
back up, but I don't think that will be enough. It's going to be 5v1 on the map. Darwin Theory going to be back in 5 seconds. Dazik is up. We'll see if he can find his way in, but no Cyclone available, and it's going to be stuns coming through. The Nexus is under fire, and Zenigma going to claim week 2, 2 games to 0.
Yep, there we go. Mountain win there in the chat. So either, regardless of who had won, it's a victory for House Mountain. Yeah, so definitely good stuff for that house. But even better stuff for Zenigma, who just smashed Legend Spartan completely. And I have to, again, we have to show the man in the mid lane, the man in the top lane, the man in the mid lane, Izumi on this Camille and on the Wukong last game, doing a lot of work to push his team ahead toward the victory.
Absolutely. Strong carry performance from him. The rest of the team there to support him all the way. Very good performance from Zenigma in both games. Never really a doubt in my mind of who was going to win that game. At least after like 10 minutes, it was pretty clear that it was going to be Zenigma all the way. And definitely executing on their game plan with a very smart lane swap coming through and just pushing that all the way to the victory.
Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, it did feel like Zenigma was pretty much in control throughout the series. But it's not over yet. It's just week 2 of the season. Maybe Legend Spartan will be able to bounce back. We know they're definitely capable of doing so. They were one of the preseason tournament winners after all. So definitely they can have the ability to bounce back. But we'll see, Maybe later in the season they'll be able to 2-0 Zenigma themselves. But that's still later down the line. For now, Zenigma can happily bask in the glory of their victory. Until next time, of course.
Yep. So, other than that, any final thoughts on this series?
I want to also commend Ryan Miles for being at the right place at the right time, everywhere, all the time. The dives that he pulled off right now on this corner, this game on this corner, was very immaculate. I'd have to say, very good jungle performance coming. And commending everyone on the side of Zenigma. Gerarden, of course, being a sub, just did his job, did extremely well, especially against both Darwin Theory and Dazik. Very good stuff from him. He played the Malphite. He did his job. He did well. So definitely commending.
Rock solid. Well, with all that said, thank you to everyone for joining us. I have been Tiger here with Miles David, bringing you Legend Spartans versus Zenigma. Zenigma coming away with the 2-0 victory, and for the Runeterra Academy Junior Division, that is all. Have a good night, everyone.